very, very important video with respect to dual employment check, hiding employment details, or sharing fake experience. We are going to talk about how employers these days come to know if you are working in two companies at the same time. We are not talking about temporary employment or freelancing. Dual employment actually means that you work with two employers at the same time. And these days, it is very simple for employers to identify whether you are working with one company or two companies by just running a UAN check. UAN stands for Universal Account Number. So employers need your name, they need your UAN number, they need your date of birth, registered mobile number, and your consent to run this check. Now you may say that what if I don't give the consent to run this particular check? If you don't give consent, they cannot run this check, but at the same time, they will get this doubt that there is something wrong with your employment history. That is why you are not giving this consent. So there is no option but to give consent. And as soon as you give the consent, they are able to see your EPFO history on the EPFO portal. There is a passbook over there, and in that passbook, they can see the previous employment details. So if you have two employments with company A and company B at the same time, it will be visible in that particular passbook. And most companies have this process now. This specifically started during the COVID period when people working from home started to take advantage and they started to work in two companies simultaneously at the same time. And employers identified that this is an issue, and now employers have included this particular check as a part of the background check for all new hires. At the same time, some employers are also running this check for the people that they have hired during the COVID period to check whether the people hired during the COVID period have this history. Alright, so it is not something that you can skip. The most common question which I get from people is, what if I worked with a company in the past and that company did not deduct any PF? So yes, if the company did not deduct any PF, then there will be no PF history. Alright, but companies do have a choice to ask you for your Form 16 or your income tax return from the previous organization. So that will give them proof of employment that yes, you worked over there, you got paid, and the employment is valid. But they can't verify if you worked with another company at the same time if the PF was not deducted. At least through this route, they can't identify in my knowledge. Alright, so one more way to look at this is that if you try to hide any past employment where your PF was getting deducted, so if you remove that from your resume, you will be questioned because they will anyway get to know through this check that you were working somewhere and it is not a part of your resume now. So a lot of times senior people who have 20 plus years of experience, they want to remove one particular employment from their resume, but you will be anyway caught and asked that question about why this was removed, because it will show up in your UAN history. And lastly, if you have not worked in any organization and if you try to put that, you will again be questioned about no PF history. If you say there was no PF, they will ask you for your IT returns or Form 16, etc. So I don't think putting fake experience is an option in this particular case. There are also few cases where people only have 10 days of overlap, which means you are working with employer A and with employer B, you started to work before you got an exit from this organization. So let's say you did not get an exit from this company. The last 10 days you were working in this company, you did not get an exit, but you joined over here in the second company, which means now in your history that 10 days will show as employment in company A as well as in company B. So this also is becoming a problem in a lot of cases where it is only 10 days or 15 days of overlap. Okay, in such scenarios, I think you have to be honest with the new employer and you have to tell them that why this happened upfront, right? So rather than trying to hide it, you should tell them in the first round itself that this is a case, so that you don't get into the interview process, spend 2 months, get the offer and then get caught, or then it becomes an issue. Rather, you should tell them upfront that, okay, I have a 10 days of overlap because of this reason. It can be any genuine reason. If the company is okay with that, then only go with the process. Otherwise, it is just going to waste your time. Another option is to apply for small companies, because small companies or startups usually don't get into these kind of rigorous processes. They may, but in most cases, they may not. Alright, so try to keep your record clean, and if for some reason there is an issue, try to be upfront and tell them why it happened in the first round itself so that there is no problem later. Alright, I hope you understand this process now. If you have any questions, let me know in comments, or if you have any other scenarios or experiences about this, add those in comments. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and if you found this useful, share it in your WhatsApp groups, and see you in another video soon. Take care and bye for now.